Hello. Today I'm gonna do a 2018 prediction of what's gonna happen in NBA. I'm gonna start off with the first games and all 30 teams, and then I will predict the playoffs, all their records, and what I think this means for all 30 teams. And I'm gonna start off with the East. I think the Celtics are gonna go 62 and 20 with Tatum, Gordon, and Marcus Morris added to the team because they can run small ball. Their only problem is they can't really have a good center for rebounding. They probably need to add one of those good centers soon enough if they want an even better record or a chance to go to the finals. But now I'm going to talk about the Cavs, which they didn't do anything in free agency, but I'm thinking they're going to go 50 and 32. Raptors, they didn't do that much in free agency either. I think they're going to go 49 and 33. The Bucks, they didn't do a lot, but I think their young talent is going to improve. Giannis is going to get better, Chris Middleton, Jabari Parker. I think they're all going to get better and they're going to improve and jump into the fourth seed at 49 and 33. Wizards didn't do much, but John Wall is going to bring them back. Um, they're going to fall a little bit, I think, to the fifth seed at 46 and 36. Heat, they're going to improve on what they did last year, just barely missing the playoffs last year. And I think they're going to get the sixth seed in this week East, getting 42 and 40. The 76ers, they just got Markel Fultz, they got Joel Embiid, they got Ben Simmons, and with no injuries, I think their young talent can hit the seventh seed at the same record as the Heat, 42 and 40. And the Hornets, I think they can climb into the playoffs with their pick still called Dwayne Bacon. He's gonna make them do better. Malik Monk, their first round pick, he's gonna do way better than what their other small forward or shooting guard did. And then of course my Hawks traded them Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard's gonna improve them a lot with Kemba and Dwight second pick and rolls. That's gonna be great for them, and they're gonna get 40 and 42 playoffs, 8 seed. Now the Pistons, they didn't really do anything. They got Layton Galloway for on this contract that's I think too big for him. So they're gonna go to the ninth seed, which is improving but not the playoff, at 38 and 44. The Knicks I think can grow 4 wins, going 35 and 47. They got young talent, and I think they can grow with Porzingis and their new pick. Now I think the Hawks drop all the way down to 11, going 32 and 50. I really do hope this happens so we can get a better pick, but we lost Tim Hardaway Howard, and we added John Collins and Dorsey. I think Dennis Schroeder can bring us down to the 11th seed, which we may place higher, but this is just what I think. The Bulls, I think they're going 28 and 54 in the 12th seed because they lost Jimmy Butler and they added their new pick, but I don't think their new pick's going to be that great, especially what happened yesterday. Chris Dunn and Zach LaVine, they didn't do that much for the Timberwolves last year because they were the 11th seed and they had Andrew Wiggins and Cat. So I don't think Zach and Chris Dunn's going to make a difference. Pacers, they lost Paul George. I think they're going to have the same record as the Bulls, 28 and 54. And I think they're going to place the 13th seed. Now the Nets, they're 26. I think they're going to be 26 and 56 because they lost Burke, but they did gain Russell. And um, if Jeremy Lin doesn't get hurt, I'm pretty sure they can go much better than they did last year, which I projected 6 wins higher. But if Jeremy Lin doesn't get hurt, much higher. Jeremy Lin may be sixth man of the year next year. But Magic, I think they're going 25 and 57, dropping down because they don't really gain or lose much. They gain at Jonathan Isaac, which he may do good, but not good enough to bring them out of the 15th seed, I think. And now we're gonna go to the West. I think the Spurs are gonna go 68 and 14, have the first seed since they did gain Rudy Gay, and he's gonna make a big difference to the team. Now the Warriors, I project them to go three more wins less than they did the year before at 64 and 18. They added Swaggy P, Caspi, and Jordan Bell, which I think is going to be make a big difference towards their team. But I think Kevin Durant is going to have another injury, and if he doesn't have an injury, there's more competition in the West, so they're probably going to lose just a few more games. The Thunder, with Paul George, I think they're going to go 58 and 24. I shouldn't have to explain that. I mean, Victor Oladipo left, but Paul George is so much better than him. They're going to grow at least 3 seeds, I think, in the third seed. The Rockets, I think, are going 56 and 26. They lost Patrick, but Chris Paul, he got first defensive all team, I think. But Chris Paul's going to add so much to the team. They say that there's not two balls for James Harden and Chris Paul, but Chris Paul and James Harden pass a lot, so they're going to be good with each other. So I think they're going to win the 4th seed. Clippers going 49 and 33. I think they lost Chris Paul, but now they have one of the best front courts in the NBA, or I think the best front court in the NBA right now with Gallinari, DeAndre, and Blake. So I think they're going to get the 5th seed. Timberwolves, I think, jumped to the 6th seed, going 48 and 34. They gained Jimmy Butler, Jamal Crawford for the 6th man, and Jeff Teague, which Andrew Wiggins and Cat, and then the three of those, yes, 100% getting 6th seed or higher, at least getting to the playoffs. Nuggets, I think, go 46 and 36 because they gained Paul Millsap just out of the playoffs last year, but Millsap will definitely improve the team with Jovic and Millsap as the power forward and center. It's going to be a great combo. Sadly, he had to leave the Hawks, but Trailblazers, I think they improved. They added Justin Jackson. So now they have a better shooter at the small forward, and I think they're going to go 46 and 36. Grizzlies not making the playoffs, I don't think, this year. 9th seed, 44 and 38. I think they lost Zach Randolph. I think he was on their team, and that's all they lost, but I think they can improve. Especially Marc Gasol and Mike Conley can improve their relationship. Pelicans did nothing, but I think they can get the 38th. Well, they did sign Jrue Holiday to this humongous contract, which I think he deserves, but anyway, I think they're going to get 10th seed, 38 and 44. I think the Jazz are going to get the same record because they lost Gordon Hayward, so that's going to put a big dent in their team. And I think they're going to get the 11th seed. Now, the Suns, I think they're going to go 35 and 47, and with the gain of Josh Jackson at the 12th seed. So they're still going to get a good draft pick, I think, this year. But they're going to build their team chemistry, and they're going to do better than what they did in 2016. Now, the Lakers, with the gain of Lonzo and Brook Lopez, I think they can go 34 and 48 with the loss of D'Angelo Russell, though. I think Lonzo's going to have an okay. He's not going to year, but he's not going to win Rookie of the Year, I don't think. I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Now, you may disagree, but I personally think that Jason Tatum's going to win Rookie of the Year if he gets enough playing time. Anyway, the Kings, I think, is going to go 32 and 50 with the gain of De'Aaron Fox, just missing out on the 15th seed at the 14th seed. I think the Mavericks, they're going to try to tank this year. Mark Cuban said last year they're going to try to tank. And this year, I don't think there's going to be any difference. They're going to let their young players play, like Dennis Smith and a couple other guys, and they're going to tank to the 15th seed at 31 and 51. Now, I'm going to project the playoffs. Now, the East round 1, the Celtics play the Hornets. I think the Hornets get beaten 4-1. The Cavs play the Sixers. Sadly, I think the Sixers get 4-0'd. Raptors play the Heat. I think the Heat put up a little fight, but they lose 4-2. The Bucks play the Wizards, and I think that the Wizards get kicked out by the young and new Bucks going 4-2. Now in round 2, I think the Celtics beat the Bucks 4-2, and the Cavs beat the Raptors 4-1. Now Celtics versus Cavs. I think with the new addition of Gordon Hayward, Tatum, and Morris, I think that'll be just enough to put the Cavs out at 4-2. Now in the West, I think Spurs versus Trailblazers. I think the Blazers get swept again back to back. Warriors versus Nuggets. I really wanted the Nuggets to get at least 1 or 2 wins, but in my head, I just know that the Warriors are going to sweep them. Thunder versus Timberwolves. I think the Thunder will take it this year, but if it was the year after, I think the Timberwolves would take it. But this year, I think the Thunder take it 4-2. Rockets versus Clippers. I think the Clippers lose barely back to back years in a game 7 versus the Rockets. 4-3 Rockets. Now, round 2 in the Western Conference semifinals. I think the Spurs can take the Thunder out 4-2, like they took the Rockets this year out 4-2. I think the Warriors can take the Rockets out 4-1. With that, I think the Rockets can at least get one game with Chris Paul. Now, in the conference finals, I think the Spurs, with the addition of not Gordon, Rudy Gay. With the addition of Rudy Gay, I think they can beat the Warriors 4-2. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with that, but that's my thoughts. Because the Warriors did add a couple shooters, but Rudy Gay's different than Caspi and Swaggy P. Way different. Rudy could isolate, do what he wants, and if they put Kawhi at point guard, stats show that it's better like that. So they'll not easily, but they'll beat the Warriors 4-2 in my head. Like they should have done this year if Kawhi wouldn't have got hurt. And in the finals, Spurs versus Celtics. The Celtics are good, but I think Pop with Rudy Gay, Kawhi, LaMarcus Aldridge, I think it's way too much for the Celtics in their first finals since 09, no 010. I meant 010. What the heck? Since 2010, I think it's way too much, and I think the Spurs are gonna win 4-2. And those are my predictions. Now, if any of you are watching, go ahead and tell me your predictions in the comments. And go ahead, disagree, agree, say what you think. But these are my predictions, and this is what I think is going to happen. So I will see y'all later. Peace, my boys.